All right, good morning, first grade parents. This video is for Friday the 10th, and this is our ELA video. So we are looking at the last two ELA sheets in your packet, which is the prefix page, sorry, and the Easter writing page. So I'm going to start with the prefixes in case we need a refresher from when we were in elementary school. Prefixes are things that we add to the beginning of a word to change the meaning of a word. The three prefixes that we are focusing on this week are re, un, and pre. And what those mean, when we add re to a word, it means again. When we add un to the beginning of a word, it means not. And when we add pre to the beginning of a word, it means before. So I am going to try to do this with some words that aren't on here, and then to show you a helpful way that the kids might be able to do it on the sheet. So first of all, I would say, it's not on here, but I would, above where it says prefixes, where it says re, I would write again. Where it says un, I would write not, and pre, I would write before. That way it just adds a little code for your kids, because in the room, we would have this on the board so they can reference that. You can just add it to the sheet. So I'm going to look at the word happy, and I'm going to put it under here. So if I have happy as my base word, and I want to add a prefix to that and say that I am not happy, well, I can certainly say I am not happy, or I can add un and say I am unhappy, and that makes it not happy. If I am looking at my shoes and I notice that they are not tied, I can either say two things. I can say they are untied, which means not tied, or I can say they are undone, which means they are not done. So again, I would just give your kids some examples. As far as read, I would ask them, when you read a story or hear a story or tell a story, you hear it for the first time. If someone says, what was that story about? You are telling it again. So you are retelling the story. And that's something that we do in the room, so you can kind of link it to that. What I would say for this, because we think that, we explain that to kids and boom, they can read this and get it. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. My suggestion for this page, take a crayon. I'm going to use a light color. And you can use 3 crayons if you want. That actually may work out better. And so what I would have them do is start with re, which you already put that code up here that means again. And I just want you, anytime you find again, to color it red. Is that the only one that has again now? Right here. Okay, and then ask them, what's the action verb in that little chunk? So here it's write, and here it's play. So they're just going to add re, because re means again, to any verb that they highlighted that has the again word with it. So this one's play, so they're going to make it replay, play again. They're going to make it rewrite, write it again. Pick a different color for un. I'm going to use orange this time. And we know that un means not. So they're going to skim, and anytime they find not, they're going to highlight it with that color. And then they're going to go back and highlight their action verb. So not like, we're going to say unlike. Not true, we're going to make untrue. Not tied, untied, which I think I used here. And not happy, unhappy. And then last, third color, go through for pre. Pre means before. So you're going to highlight all of the befores, and then the verb. This is pay before, prepay. Test before, pretest. View before, preview. And then you can link it to an example of when they might have heard that word. Like if you get to preview, you can tell them, well, when we watch a movie, sometimes they show a little clip of a movie. before we actually get to see the movie. So you've been using that word before. So it's called a preview because we get to view it before we actually view it for the whole entire movie. And then they just simply write the new word over here. But that color coding is a strategy that really works very well, kind of for your kids who are more visual. A lot of kids can't just hear you say this. They really need to see what's happening. And this helps them just make sense of it in their brain and on the sheet. The next writing for today is, what are my family's Easter traditions? So they're drawing it and writing it. I have quite a few kids in my classroom, I'm just thinking, that would need more paper than this because they are very wordy when they write, like they write many sentences. If that's the case, just give them tablet paper to finish. Some kids you're gonna have a hard time pulling out 2 sentences from them right now. Just encourage them to keep going. When you do this, if they want to do a pre-write, you can just simply draw on a piece of paper in the middle. This would be a good graphic organizer, and write the word Easter. And maybe do 4 boxes and just have them draw or write 4 things that your family typically does on Easter. Now, I know it is really hard this year because our family is not doing really most of what we do for Easter. So they may just have to think back to last year. But I definitely know that some things that my kids would say is that the bunny visits our house. I'm going to write the words because you don't want to see my artwork. Kids are much better drawers than I am. We color eggs. Typically, we do an egg hunt at my mom's house or my grandma's house, which sadly won't be happening this year. And then another Easter tradition is that we go to church. Now, of course, your traditions aren't going to be exactly what my family does, but you can help them with this. And then they're just simply going to write. So my family's Easter traditions include the Easter bunny visiting, coloring eggs together, period. We also, to kind of get them to get a couple sentences, we also go on an egg hunt and go to church. If you want to have them really kind of add something extra, have them tell as the last sentence what their favorite part is. My favorite part is going to church because I love to sing. My favorite part is going on the egg hunt because I see my cousins. So just try to have them pull out some details and just add on one more sentence. That's what I always tell them to do. When we get our first sentence, I say stretch and see if we can add one more detail to kind of just improve their writing, because by this point in first grade, we're really moving beyond just one sentence and really wanting them to get a full paragraph. So they could easily get 3 sentences out of that. Now, it's not a full paragraph, but it's one more step towards being a full paragraph. So this is Good Friday. We're actually technically off today, but if you're working at home, I hope you have a really good Easter. Kids, I miss you. I'm sad we didn't get to do some Easter activities this year in class, but we all miss you and we hope to see you soon. All right, goodbye.